Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'll share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Today's lecture sound is less. So, as Prabhu said, we all have to hear with earphones or with mic near to the ears. I'm playing.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text 10. You going to look at the verse? You know the verse. We're going to say it responsibly. So you have your phone, you can look at your phone and show your son and chant together.
Is it audible, Mataji?
No, Prabhu.
Prabhu, transcript is not there.
What, Mataji?
The transcription.
Yeah, transcription is not there, Mataji. I will show from here, Vedaves. Why is it not audible? I'll stop sharing and again.
Prabhu, while sharing share audio, Prabhu. Zero.
Yeah, it is there, Prabhu. Share sound is there. And just.
It was audible for me, Prabhu.
No,
it was audible, but very feeble though.
Very, very feeble. Yeah, it will increase, Mataji, little bit after some time.
This is an easy one. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Akama Sarva Kamova. Mokshakama Udharati. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Jeta Purusham Param. Kama Sarva Kamova. Moksha Kama Udaradi. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Yajeta Purusham Param. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Nice instruction. Pure Devotional Service, Chapter 3. And nice long 2-page purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, is described in the Bhagavad Gita as Purushottama, or the Supreme Personality. It is He only who can award liberation to the impersonalists by absorbing such aspirants in the Brahmajyoti, the bodily rays of the Lord. The Brahmajyoti is not separate from the Lord, as the glowing sun ray is not independent of the sun disk. Therefore, one who desires to merge into the supreme impersonal Brahmajyoti must also worship the Lord by Bhakti Yoga. As recommended here in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhakti Yoga is especially stressed here as the means of all perfection. In the previous chapters, it has been stated that Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal of both Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, and in the same way, in this chapter, it is emphatically declared that Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal of different varieties of worship of the different demigods. Bhakti Yoga, therefore, thus being the supreme means of self-realization, is recommended here. Everyone must therefore seriously take up the methods of bhakti yoga, even though one aspires for material enjoyment or liberation from material bondage. Pretty emphatic. Paragraph. A kama is one who has no material desire, a living being naturally being part and parcel of the supreme whole Purusham Purnam, has its natural function to serve the supreme being, just as the parts and parcels of the body or the limbs of the body are naturally meant to serve the complete body. Desirelessness means, therefore, not to be inert like the stone, but to be conscious of one's actual position and thus desire satisfaction only from the Supreme Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this desirelessness as Vajaniya Paramam Purusha Sukha Matram Sva Sukhatvam in his Sandarbha. This means that one should feel happy only by experiencing the happiness of the Supreme Lord. This intuition of the living being is sometimes manifested even during the conditioned stage of a living being in the material world, and such intuition is expressed in the manner of altruism, philanthropy, socialism, communism, etc., by the undeveloped minds of less intelligent men. In the mundane field, such an outlook of doing good to others in the form of society, community, family, country, or humanity is a partial manifestation of the same original feeling in which a pure living entity feels happiness by the happiness of the Supreme Lord. Such superb feelings were exhibited by the damsels of Rajabhumi for the happiness of the Lord. The gopis loved the Lord without any return. And this is the perfect exhibition of the akama spirit. Kama spirit, or the desire for one's own satisfaction, is fully exhibited in the material world, whereas the spirit of akama is fully exhibited in the spiritual world. Paragraph. Thoughts of becoming one with the Lord or being merged in the Brahmajyoti can also be exhibitions of the Kama spirit if they are desires for one's own satisfaction to be free from the material miseries. A pure devotee does not want liberation so that he may be relieved from the miseries of life. Even without so-called liberation, a pure devotee is aspirant for the satisfaction of the Lord. Influenced by the Kama spirit, Arjuna declined to fight in the Kurukshetra battle because he wanted to save his relatives for his own satisfaction. But, being a pure devotee, he agreed to fight on the instruction of the Lord because he came to his senses and realized that satisfaction of the Lord at the cost of his own satisfaction was his primary duty. Thus he became a kama. That is the perfect stage of a perfect living being. So beautiful. Paragraph. Udaradhi means one who has a broader outlook. People with desires for material enjoyment worship small demigods, and such intelligence is condemned in Bhagavad Gita 7.20 as Rita Jnana, the intelligence of one who has lost his senses. One cannot obtain any result from demigods without getting sanction from the Supreme Lord. Therefore, a person with a broader outlook can see that the ultimate authority is the Lord. Even for material benefits, under the circumstances, one with a broader outlook, even with the desire for material enjoyment or for liberation, should take to the worship of the Lord directly, and everyone, whether an akama or sakama or mokshakama, should worship the Lord with great expedience. This implies that Bhakti Yoga may be perfectly administered without any mixture of karma and gyan, as the unmixed sun ray is very forceful and therefore called tivra. Similarly, Bhakti Yoga of hearing, chanting, etc. may be performed by one and all, regardless of inner motive. Tivra, in the word for word, is with great force. So I'll read the last sentence again. As the unmixed sun ray is very forceful and is therefore called tivra, similarly unmixed bhakti yoga of hearing, chanting, etc. may be performed by one and all, regardless of inner motive. It's a little perplexing.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm sharing the transcription also so that
Okay.
it will be useful.
Okay.
I'm unable to open the file here. I'm just saving it as PDF. Prabhu, can you send me as PDF, Prabhu? This whatever Mataji shared, Vinodini Mataji. Channakesha Prabhu.
Prabhu, I'm in mobile, Prabhu. One second.
Oh,
Everybody can look into it.
Yeah, tell me, Prabhu, if I can help here, Prabhu.
Mataji, Vinodini Mataji shared one doc.
Okay.
Can you save it as PDF and share it with me?
Oh,
Or you can share.
Shamkun Prabhu, which Shamkun Prabhu shared that only, right, today?
Oh, yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhu, I will convert it. Prabhu, give me.
Otherwise, you can share, Mataji.
I will
Thank
share. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Thank
thank you.
With the recording, right, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. I'll share the recording. Recording, we have to start. Not yet started.
I am sharing the recording also, Prabhu, together. Yes. Prabhu, I'm getting 403, Prabhu, for the recording.
Which recording?
Ravana Pro, at what time you paused the recording? Please tell me.
Okay, 1 minute, Prabhu. 9.29, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah.
9.29. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry, Prabhu.
No problem, Mataji. Yeah, Channakesha Prabhu sent it. I'll open, Mataji. No problem.
Yes, Prabhu. You can
Yeah.
continue, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, thank you, Prabhu. I'll share my screen again.
Regardless of inner motive.
Leave it, Prabhu.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead, Prabhu. Thank you.
It's a little- The definition, Rupa Goswami's definition of bhakti seems to run contrary to this. Let's see if we can sort it out. His definition of bhakti, found in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is what bhakti isn't and what bhakti is. And what bhakti is, intention is everything. Or you could say motive, the purpose for which bhakti is performed. Now, that's describing uttama bhakti, or unmixed devotion, and then supposing devotion is mixed, because that's what this verse is speaking about, mixed. Supposing someone has a desire for material enjoyment, supposing someone has a desire for freedom from material entanglement, supposing someone has desires for mystic powers. Those are desires. And unmixed or pure bhakti is without motive. So supposing one has a motive, that's what this verse is describing. They, such are desiring this, that, or the other thing, must connect with bhakti, at least touch it. In other words, mixed. Karma Mishra Bhakti, Gyan Mishra Bhakti, and Siddhi Mishra Bhakti, wanting mystic siddhis. Why? Because everything comes from one source. So you can't get something without going to that source, even if it's indirectly. Like, for example, the worship of demigods. I mean, Prabhupada has a sharp way of describing worship of demigods. The small demigods. People with desires for material enjoyment worship small demigods. And such intelligence is condemned in the Bhagavad Gita 7:20 as Shrita Jnana, the intelligence of one who has lost his senses. And why Shrita Jnana? Because they've lost the sense. They've lost the sense that the demigods can't deliver anything without the sanction of the source of everything. Or they can deliver whatever they can deliver through the sanction of the source of everything, the Supreme. They get their empowerment and their sanction to, Bhakti Siddhanta calls them gift-giving gods. And they can give gifts, but they can't do so independently. And therefore, even those who are demigod worshippers recommended that they acknowledge Vishnu as the authority from whom the demigods get their power to do what they do. Is it possible that one can worship demigods without that acknowledgement? Sure. It's called, the field of the material energy. People do things without acknowledgement of the source of everything. That deluding potency is there. And therefore the recommendation is direct, Tivra Bhakti, because the rays of the sun are forceful or powerful, and acknowledging that the rays of the sun are forceful and powerful, then connect with the rays of the sun, connect with Bhakti, and because that Bhakti connects with the source. The rays are forceful because they come from the source, the sun. And many, many rays, very forceful. Saying the same thing in another way. It's same thing in another way. The whole of the Vedas, including demigod worship and searching for liberation, the impersonal liberation, aspiring for that. You know, the phrase that's popular or common, become one with. Become one with. Become one with the Supreme, become one with God, become one with it all, become one with. That's the abdication of one's identity and accepting one's identity as the all, become one with, merging with different ways of different language that describes that aspiration. And they remain on the material platform. Even that one remains on the material platform. How? Because it's a separate desire. This connects with a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashanta. Ashanta means not peaceful. Shanti means peaceful. Ashanta is one who is not peaceful. They're not peaceful when they have desire, kama, mukti, material, mukti, the impersonal kind of liberation, siddhi, mystic powers, sakale ashanta, bhukti mukti siddhi, kami, sakale ashanta, separate. It connects with, similarly, it connects with Bhakti Siddhanta's strong, maybe strident statement that in this material world there's no love. And the reason he gives is because there's always separate interest. The separate interest is the Bhakti Mukti Siddhi Kami. So love where there's separate interest is mixed. It's not what real love is. Real love is unmixed. Real bhakti is unmixed. So what's speaking of here in this verse in the Bhagavatam is mixed. Whether one is
Shall we pause it here, Prabhu? I thought I'll play until 7.
Usually we play till 6:50, Prabhu, around 6:50.
Yeah, I
6:50.
know. Yes, but because today it was some time was gone, that's why. Anyway, Prabhu, we can pause it here. Yes, Pramila Prabhu, over to you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I'm audible, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Prabhu, Channakesha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I like today about the akama, the point which is talking about one who has no material desire, like gopis loved the Lord without any returns. And also a pure devotee is aspirant for the Lord's satisfaction. And I want some more clarification on the Hurta Gnana, Prabhu. The intelligence of one who has lost in senses because they can't deliver without sanction of Supreme Lord. I just want a little more clarification on that. Correct.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Shamkun Prabhu.
I raised my hand to say something for the follow or the second question to what Saidana Mataji said yesterday, which I found the connection to be there with today's class also. So maybe somebody can reply to Channakesha Prabhu and then I can tell to speak about the second question of Saidana Mataji, which he asked yesterday.
Anyone would like to answer Channakesha Prabhu's question? Prabhu, Hurtagnana is like Maharaj said, they don't know the source of the gift that they are getting. So they think that they are getting it from demigods, but the demigods have to take the permission from the Supreme Lord that they don't know. So that's why in the transcription we found that Mara said those are called Krutagnana.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Got it.
Yes, Prabhu, Shyam Kundu, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe I'll add something more to the Kritagnyana also, Prabhu. Just a minute, let me go back. Saidana Mataji, are you here on the call?
No, she's there, Prabhu. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So yesterday, let me go. Yesterday, your question, the second question, the first a little bit to add, but maybe that's later. But the second question that you had asked was, say there is some person as a devotee, you specifically use the word devotee there, who feels bad for something that we did, and we may think it is just a minor thing, like the Shakespearean word. I think you like the literary side. Why do you make much ado about nothing, right?
Yes,
We feel it like in that Shakespearean sense, and somebody make. You use the word offense, but I would just make it much more simpler too. It may not be an offense, but maybe something else. But they might have felt bad, and should we try to work on it or try to mollify the devotee, right? Um, and this, I feel, is a question which, from a larger context, if you remove the word devotee, it's applicable for everybody in one sense. There are two aspects of this, Mataji, when you're asking a question like this. First, we generally, okay, many thoughts are coming, but anyway, I'll try to organize it. Please pardon me about it, Mataji, if I'm not a little orderly in my approach here. Number one, we generally treat in this world our interactions as what we call sometimes as a zero-sum game. A zero-sum game is one in which if I win, you lose. If you lose, I win. Something like that. So there is only one winner. It's not both of us are the winners. That's how we generally treat life as, because we have been bred on competition. And it's not just that our current educational system is competitive, right from infinite time. Right from an infinite time, it has been this way. Across multiple births, it has been this way. So, just a moment. So, it may so happen that, I'll give you an example to better state how it may not be a zero-sum game. It's much easier, rather than expressing it in words. With an example, it is better. I know of a devotee who received a service in the temple, and this devotee would come to the temple, do the service, and go back home. Very nice, simple person. And who had given him the service? There was a particular leader who told, "Can you please come and do this thing in the temple?" And why did the leader give the service to this person? Let me call this person as devotee A, and another person is devotee B. So devotee A was given the service by devotee B because they felt maybe this person needs some purification by just washing the plates in the kitchen or mopping the floor, something like that. Some sukriti would come, and every time this devotee A would come to the temple, They would come, do the service, just walk away. They would never ever speak to the devotee B, and the devotee B expressed to devotee A, saying, I'm sitting here, right here. You come every time, you do it and go. Why don't you even speak to me? And from a perspective of devotee A, it would be very similar to what you're saying. Why is this person B wanting so much attention upon themselves? I am just doing my service and going. Isn't it a simple thing? Uh, it's probably this person is an attention seeking person. The person A could think like that about B. Or, as we just discussed in the beginning, it's much ado about nothing. What are you bothered about? You're bothered about things happening nice. I'm getting things done properly and coming out. That's it. If you want, you can inquire about what I did from others. But within this is a fundamental principle that is being lost. If devotee A were to think like that, and so here I'm telling where devotee B is actually right in the sense that if we have received service from somebody, we should go back to that person and say, hey, if not every time, once in a while, you gave me this and I'm just doing, I did this. These were the learnings I got. This is how it is helping me. Or even in this so-called work that you gave me, this activity you gave me, I feel this can be done better. What do you think? Do you want me to do it? Do you want somebody else to do it? This is how we can potentially improve it. Or I'm seeing that I can also help you in some other way. Should I keep this and do that? These conversations are an expression of the gratitude for the service that one is given. Otherwise, what happens? We think we come to the stage of pride that I am doing this activity. Actually, somebody has given us that work. They could have easily given it to anybody else in this world. But instead of that anybody else, it has come to us, which means there is something that they have thought about the well-being about us. And therefore, we should do it that way. So here, it's not about much ado about nothing. It's basically a loss of culture, which is what we were discussing in the Vaishnava etiquette series. That be thankful to the person who has given you some activity, some means of progress in life, and who has thought about our welfare. Out of so many people in this world, I have been given this opportunity. So this is one of that kind here. Just extending this very same thing here. Like you know that I was part of the so-called Vaikunta Kid Pathshala once upon a time. And whenever I used to take the classes, I used to take the classes for a particular age group in the temple. And before I used to take up a theme, I used to call each of these circle servants and tell them that this is the theme I'm having. You are sending your kids here. You're sending your kids because you have trust in me. I mean, I didn't used to say those words, but because they had this trust in me, it was imperative on my side that I tell them what I'm planning. Otherwise, I am not reciprocating with what they're having and what their need is. So I used to go back and tell them, I'm thinking of this topic. In this topic, these are the things I want to cover. Would you be comfortable if your children listen to this, or you want me to not do it? And sometimes they used to give suggestions which I used to incorporate, etc. Why? Because it's not that I am a great person who knows everything in this world. It is that they are actually engaging me in a service. I could be doing some other nonsensical activity, and they, out of their kindness, gave me something here. So if I were to not do that, and if somebody else, the circle servants definitely would feel that he's like a black, he's like an opaque wall. We throw something on top to the other side, and we don't know what's happening. So especially when you deal with something like children, etc., one has to be very transparent to the parents. That's what happens even in school, right? Like the teachers or the school management tell the parents, this is what we are trying to do. We are executing it, but this is our objective in doing it. Correct? So if somebody were to say that, hey, how come you're doing something, I don't know anything about it. It is not much ado about nothing. It is definitely valid there. Number one. Number two, now I'll flip to the other side. Those who have not been, I'm tending to use the word trained, but I can also say those who have not go through the process of working under somebody. It so happens, and being humbly corrected and growing in that process, those who have not gone through that process, if they ever become a leader, it may so happen that they will bring in their own insecurities into the picture. It can happen. And that may be your question. Like, why is this person asking for attention upon himself? So the person asking for attention, it looks like asking for attention for us. It may be because that is a genuine cultural thing to do, number one. And that is the right Vaishnava way of doing things also. So it could be that, or it could be that person is just like the person B whom I said. Somebody may even say that, hey, this person is only used to a particular culture and now they're bringing this culture here. That could also be possible, right? So from our side, we have to be careful that whenever we take up an activity, we should see that, have I been open, transparent to somebody? Have I understood a little bit more about myself and my own motivations? And even while doing the work, I'm frequently accountable to somebody, saying, "Yeah, I did this, did that." That makes us that it's like even when we feel bad, like say I may feel bad about somebody doing something, but it is not about my need. It is about the growth of the other person. Okay, so that's important, and all of this, in one sense, connects. Wait a minute. I just want to go to say the same thing which Maharaj said today. And towards the end of class, what Pranala Prabhu and Dhirala Prabhu were playing, those who have separate interests, he says, and the separate interest is the Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami. Where there is a karma for something else, the love is mixed. It's not what real love is. So this whole process, when we see, am I hurt? Am I what you call, like say if a person is hurt, it actually means we have to first and foremost, the principle that we have to see is in relation to Krishna, what is it that the other person likes in relation to Krishna, and what is it that the other person wants me to grow as a nice devotee of Krishna and Krishna's Guru Parampara. That's important. It's important to realign our consciousness that way, Mataji. Does this help at all? Or you want me to say, clarify anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, yes. To a great extent.
And anything that is missing here? In any aspect that is particularly that you still feel it is unaddressed, or probably I didn't understand.
Prabhu, actually, it is between two senior devotees, their ego gets clashed, and you are in between that. So whatever you do for the other devotee offends the other. So
It
that's
is
where
not.
the actual problem comes.
No, it is not about. That's what I'm saying. I've been telling in these calls again and again. Be very careful in using the word offense. Number one,
Yeah.
and
Yes, sir.
between even why do you even put the tag senior devotee without putting the
Yes,
tag
sir.
senior and devotee? If that is the case, it means that I am trying to evaluate somebody. Much
Okay.
easier, much easier is to just tell, here is a person who is elder in age, or who is elder, or who has spent more years, who has more experience in either a particular activity or in devotional service. Definitely, Krishna would have blessed them with something. It's better to start viewing it that way. And the reason I'm saying it this way is the moment you put senior devotee, it is actually it's a label which I do not agree. Because inherent in your question is, He's a senior devotee. They both are not supposed to have that difference of opinion as such, or they both are not supposed to feel that way. We are trying to say, you are senior, you are not supposed to be that way. When we ourselves are not here at that position, say, correct? You're saying, I am junior, you are senior, you are supposed to be like that. It is very similar to, I am sitting in my room. I say I have in my hall, in my living room. I have a TV. I see Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli playing, and then I say Virat Kohli shouldn't have hit like that. I can't even play gully cricket properly, and I am here telling how Virat Kohli should have hit the shot, right? For me, who's sitting here in my living room, it is one thing. But for a person like Virat Kohli or Sachin Tendulkar, they have gone through it a lot. They have played like possibly 1,000 matches. In those 1,000 matches, 999 times they did it right. One time they did it wrong. We have probably played 10 silly matches. We would have got once correctly, and then we are here to tell somebody who has done 999 things correct and one time incorrectly. Right?
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else have anything to share? It's already 7:13. Last call for anybody? Okay, then we'll pause here for today. We'll meet tomorrow.
Prabhu.
Chandan Prabhu. Dhirlal Prabhu.
No, I was saying, I am not in front of my laptop, so you can end the call also after the.
Yeah, I'll end the call.
Yeah, once it is done. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. We are closing the call. Chandan Prabhu, do you have anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. No, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्ण
Thank
प्रभु,
you.
दंडवत प्रणाम.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी.
Pranwal Prabhu, can you end the call for all?